Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Bean and Cheese Mash Show. I am your host, Samantha Nahera. Welcome to tonight's show. We have a fiesta especial tonight. We are live from San Antonio, Texas, and I am your wonderful host. Like I said, Samantha Nahera. Samantha, la chingona, chismosa, chulita. The most chulita you'll ever meet in your life. Anyway, don't ask me, ask a friend. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. We are so excited to be here tonight. And before we get started, you know what it is. We got to give a shout out to our sponsors for helping us make this show happen. The B-Boy Counseling. We wanted to say hello to Vanessa Montes. She is a licensed counselor and now helping me on my therapy journey. Lori Chesser from Beauty Bee, and supposedly she is the waxing queen. I'm saving my armpits. My armpits are very hairy right now, just in case you wanted to know. Just for you, Lori. The Goods Chamoy, and by the way, we have a giveaway of a keychain with a chamoy pack on there for you. And I wanted to give a shout out really quickly to my friend Monica Gomez from Serenity Mobile Massage. She does such an amazing job massaging me all the time because I'm always full of lots of knots and tension, and my life can be stressful. So shout out to Monica. And I also wanted to tell you guys, tonight you're going to want to watch one for the guest because he's a local legend. Not even a local legend. He is a worldwide radio icon. And he's here in the building with me tonight. Can you believe that? Little chismosa. Look how far we've come in life. But second of all, you're going to want to watch tonight for the giveaway. Tonight's giveaway is a family 4-pack to La Semana Alegre, which is a huge fiesta event coming to Hemisphere, downtown San Antonio, the 24th and the 25th next week. And it used to be huge back in the day with lots of bands. And you know what it is. Everybody wants those tickets right now. So watch to win. I'm going to tell you what to comment here in a little while. And also make sure to follow them on Instagram and follow Bean and Cheese on Instagram because that's how you will be able to win. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you our guest, the man, the mystery, the legend, El Yoni Ramirez. Okay, that was kind of lame. I'm sorry.
Well, thank you. But after the intro, we're probably out of time. That was a heck of a long intro. I was like, damn.
I apologize. Hey.
I was getting kind of aroused with all the sponsors there,
Hey.
Waxing, massaging. I was like, whoa, I came
What kind
to
of a
the
show
right
did I
place.
invite you to?
I came to the right place.
Well, thank you for being here.
Well, no, thank you for asking me. It's always a treat to be on the other side of the question. So,
Yes.
only my third, fourth experience, so be kind.
Oh my gosh. He's new to this, you guys, because he's used to being the interviewer. Now he's in my chair. How cool is this? So if you don't know who Johnny is, he has been in radio for many, many years. But for me personally, he is known to be a pioneer in the Tejano industry, putting lots of people on air and giving them lots of playtime. And if you don't remember that, back in the day, the radio was the thing where
Yeah.
you got your exposure and how you made a name for yourself. And Johnny was a big part of that. And so I wanted to just pick your brain because I want to ask you all the things that we're dying to ask.
See, if I knew you wanted to pick my brain tonight, I wouldn't have killed the brain cells with all the alcohol back in the 90s and the 2000s. But okay, ask away.
Okay, ready? Here we go. Let's get the cheese mess started. Where are you from?
I am originally from a little town in the Rio Grande Valley, McAllen, Texas. Go Bulldogs.
McAllen. So what made you want to move to San Antonio?
Well, I pretty much screwed up the first third of my life. And then I went to college at the tender age of 27.
What?
Yeah, I started college at 27. And I decided that I wanted to be in radio after I was like, ooh, I'm in college. Maybe I can do radio. So I took all the radio courses, everything. And then I saw this movie, Woodward and Bernstein, Watergate. And I was like, I think I want to write. So I changed and I was, I even wrote a couple of pieces for the paper. But while I was my senior year, there was some sort of program and they said, hey, we want you to explore the other aspects of mass communications. there's a movie we're shooting here, and there's a radio station that needs somebody to help them. I'm like, well, I can't do the movie because I got to work to pay for child support. So, okay, I'll stay here because the movie was in Colorado. So I stayed in the valley and latched onto a talk radio station. And then I said, you know what? I think radio was the smart move. And I've been in radio ever since. And 1983 was when I started radio. So
That's crazy. So you didn't grow up saying, I'm going to be a radio DJ and I have it all figured out and this is exactly what I'm going to do.
no, but growing up, we used to be migrant farm workers, and we used to go to Indiana and Michigan, and I used to hear these great voices, WWW, and they do
Yes.
all this talking like this, and they would do it over 10, 12-second intros, and they'd give you so much information. I was going, that's something that's pretty cool. But, from the background, I said, nah, probably not going to happen, but eventually it happened, and I'm just the luckiest beaner from McAllen that I know, So what can I tell you?
Wow, that's crazy how your life passed. I didn't even know that. See, this is why I love the Bean. This is why I love the Bean and Cheese Mess show, because you get down to the details that most people don't know about you. They only know one side of you, but
Yeah.
there's multiple layers.
And Bear County, there's no warrant out for my arrest, so that's why
Por eso,
por eso
you're free.
estamos en Bear County.
Pues yeah, Bear
Te
County is
digo,
where it's
comadre,
at.
pero no haces caso.
Okay, so another thing I wanted to ask you. So you went to college. Where did you go to college?
Back at that, it was Pan American University. Now I think it's UT Pan Am.
Oh,
Uh-huh,
okay.
in
So-
Edinburgh.
So eres muy educated.
No.
Wait, so you have a bachelor's?
I do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but 2.79 GPA, no es muy educated.
Oh, okay, got it. Hey,
Más o menos, okay?
you got far in life either way.
Right.
Okay, so do you still have student loan debt?
Actually, no, I don't. I did have about 25 grand, but when I came to San Antonio, the then general manager, I was offered a great job in Dallas, and he didn't want me to go, so he signed me to a good contract, and he gave me a signing bonus, which happened to be $30,000, and I owed 25 in student loans, so I paid that off, and
Pocketed the 5.
I've been loan free or payment free for a long time. Thank God.
Wow. Damn. You heard it here, everybody, on the Bean and Cheese Mess show. Johnny Ramirez doesn't have student loan debt, but Samantha Nájera still does.
No, I got a lot of other debt if you want to pick that up.
Oh,
but
okay.
No
Let's go into
student
that.
loan debt. Yeah.
Okay, got it. Okay, so we're gonna move on to the Tejano music. So when I grew up, it was Tejano and Proud, KXDN 107.5, and it was your voice in the morning because you were the morning show, and then sometimes the weekend. No.
Well, weekends we had one shift, and but I turned that into like a countdown. So we had the Tejano Top 30 countdown,
Okay.
and that ran. And we'd be out on the streets doing remotes with clients and sponsors and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it was 5 days a week. First, it started out being 6 to 10, then it was 5 to 10, then it was 5 to 11, then it was 5 to 12. And I was like, damn, Skippy, you better pay this Mexican some more money.
Let me just keep you on there all day. Pretty
And
much.
then as soon as I said that, it went back 5 to 11, then 5 to 10. So it was like, okay. But you know what? It's not like I'm out there with a pick and axe working in the sun or in the cold. So it was fun. And the longer we stayed on the air, the more people we talked to, because moms, dads are busy taking the kids to school, making their lunch, all that stuff. So when they got to the office is when a lot of them would call us and we, chit chat BS on the phone. Or as we used to call them, the hotline honeys.
Did you ever flirt with the hotline honeys? Were you like, hey girl, after the show, call me back?
An occasion or two I did, yes.
The hotline honeys. We call those hood rats.
Yeah. Oh, well, okay. Yeah.
That's the modern day, or what do we call them? Thirsty whores? I don't know.
No,
Not thirsty
I
whores,
still
thirsty
call them hotline honeys. So,
hotline
yeah.
honeys.
Yeah.
I know when the hotline ring. That's a Drake song if you didn't know.
And see, on the phone, I always have it made because my voice is okay, but as soon as they see me, they run. So then I was like, okay.
I'm going to be honest. You don't have a face for radio. A lot of men
I do have a face for radio.
and
yes.
women.
Yeah.
No, you don't. Have you seen this man's hair? He needs to get a sponsor from Head and Shoulder. You got more hair than I do. What's going? And I asked you this earlier. What is the regimen for your?
I have good genes. That's all I can tell you.
Because you got the flowy.
Yeah, but most of it is gray. Yours is still, nice and black.
Oh.
So there you go.
No, don't give me ojo.
No, don't
Touch
give me
it
ojo.
later.
Okay, I
Touch
won't.
it. Okay. So back in the day, I want to call this segment. You remember? You remember when back then there was bailes, and we talked a little bit about where those were, because now the socializing of the society in San Antonio, especially, we don't do bailes.
No.
So back then, do you remember when it was like, you're going to be at the dance on Friday night?
Uh-huh.
And it was at Rosedale Park? Was it, what is it called?
It was, there was a Tejano rodeo. There was a Tejano Rose. When I first came to town, it was T-Town on the hill.
T-Town? Where is that
T-Town.
at?
It was San Pedro right there on the hill. As you're going up, there's a hill there on the right. It's some other club now, but back then it was T-Town.
T-Town,
And
okay.
T-Town, that's where we basically borrowed the phrase Tejano and Proud, because it was T-Town, Tejano and Proud.
Oh, okay.
So we borrowed the phrase after they, went south and did some other type of nightclub there. They were no longer using the phrase, so we borrowed it from them. So
That's cool. That's
Yeah.
cool, because I feel like you made out a slogan immediately.
I call it creative plagiarism. We steal from here,
A little
and
bit
there,
here, a little
everywhere.
bit there. Got it. And so when I was growing up, I remember my parents saying at La Villita. Is that a big one? Was that a
La
big
Villita
one?
was big. Rosedale Park was huge.
Even though it's outside? Isn't
Yeah.
it's outside. You would just have a pachanga, big ass pachanga.
You know what? People didn't care. They went, they danced, they socialized, they drank a beer or two. Times obviously have changed. I'm not going to say that crime has increased in San Antonio, because I don't keep up with that. But it was nice. You could get out. You could, Rosedale Park is huge.
Yeah, it's on the west side.
They'd
Yeah.
park their cars out in the grass, and we go out there, and it was a fun
Yeah.
time. I mean, La Tropa, Ram Herrera, Emilio,
Selena.
Roberto Pulido, Little Joe, all of them, Super Grupo Mas, La Mafia, everybody. And they used to have this one night, they used to call it Tejano Thursday. That was on a Thursday. I came to San Antonio, I was like, holy crap, people party on a Thursday?
At Rosedale? Or where was it at?
Yeah.
The Hano Thursdays. Okay, you guys, right now, tag or do hashtag the Hano Thursday if you remember that. Somebody's saying Club Spice. I don't know. Johnny
Yeah.
Martinez. What's
Club Spice was before
Later?
me. Yeah, it was
Oh,
before I
before
came
you.
here. Yeah. When
Okay.
I came here for Tejano, the real hot spot was T-Town, because that's where Emilio recorded his live album. Selena was there. That's the first time I introduced Selena, was at T-Town.
Is that the video that's on YouTube?
Yes. Unfortunately, with that crappy shirt and that bad haircut.
You look so okay. I'm not gonna lie. You look like Johnny Ramirez looks like he had a glow up.
So here's the deal. When I came to town, the general manager didn't like the long hair biker look. He wanted his guy to be clean cut and stuff like that. And I was like, Warren, there's long-haired Mexicans that ride bikes that left Tejano music.
Oh yeah, right.
I said,
we
Little
exist.
Joe in his day was a long-haired Mexican. Everybody in the band. And he says, Johnny, just do as I say. So he sent a couple of the girls that used to work there, sales girls, and they were up with the fashion and everything. And they bought me the ugliest clothes, but I wore them just to appease them. And then as soon as my first book, I was number one, I chunked them all out. I said, Warren, I'm number one. I don't
need to be clean
Exactly.
cut
I
anymore.
said, I don't have to wear this stuff anymore. And I didn't. So, but he was cool about it. He understood.
So that wasn't really who you were on the inside.
No, but I wore this stuff and like, oh, I see that shirt and I'm like, oh, that's an ugly ass shirt. I'm like, oh man.
So the real Yoni, and you say Yoni because that's the way you say it in Spanish, or is
My
that a
mother-
joke?
My mother used to call me Yone.
Yone.
Unless she was pissed, and she would call me Juan Angel. And I was like, okay.
You guys, Juan Angel Ramirez.
Yeah, when they say your
his
full
real
name,
name.
you're in deep doo-doo.
Oh my
Trust
gosh.
me. Yeah. I was like, okay.
So the real Yoni is motorcycle, riding bikes, long hair, rock and roll, Tejano, and country? Or what are we?
Yeah,
Okay.
when I was in high school, I used to hate country. There was only a couple of artists that I could stomach. But then when I got into radio and you get older, and it's like, okay, country's not so bad. Uh, but I mean, rock and roll. So here's the thing: when I was going to high school, Tejano was not cool to listen to. So when we
Oh,
used to
really?
cruise, yes, when we used to cruise in one of my buddy's cars, he had a 1969 GTO that was sweet. When we used to cruise in his car, we all would listen to Tejano. But there was a little park there, Archer Park in McAllen. And when we cruised, Las Chicas were standing right there. We'd switch it over to, the Four Tops or, Earth, Wind, and Fire or whatever was jamming
Suavecito.
on the radio
Oh,
then.
okay.
So we'd have to change it or rock and roll, whatever, because they were not there. Tejano was like, ugh. They'd look at you like, ugh.
Why? You're literally in Mexico in McAllen Chingao.
Yeah, but that's,
Why are we
like
like
I said,
that?
times change.
Yeah.
And then I come to San Antonio, and I've been here like a month, and they're going, hey, we're gonna go to Lanier, the high school. They go, yeah. I said, why? They have a pep rally for the football game. I'm going, okay. Well, we're gonna host it. I go, a high school? They're going, yeah. I'm like, really? And they,
Yeah.
yeah. I was like,
They
well,
want
let's
to see
go.
you.
It really blew my mind that, but of course, obviously, the music was changing. We had the young artists, the Selenas, the Emilios.
They would
Uh,
go to the pep rallies too?
huh?
Would Selena and Emilio go to the pep rallies too, or is just a radio
No, no,
remote?
it was just a radio station. But my point was that the artists were young, and there was a whole bunch of them, and so there was what I call the outer core
Okay.
of Tejanos that loved listening to the station. Obviously, their first love might have been back in the day KTFM or Magic 105, but Tejano was growing and it was blowing up that we attracted the outer core because our Tejano core has stayed pretty much consistent throughout
Okay.
history.
Got it.
But it's the outer fringes of that core that really blew Tejano up, and that's why the show, the station went to number one and stayed number one for a long time.
So really, the gente, the raza, the fans,
Hmm.
helped blow up the music and
Right.
make it trending per
Right.
se.
And then the fact that the major labels came into town, they were spending a ton of money and they were spending so much money. I mean, all of a sudden, Selena, Emilio were endorsing Coke and everybody had like a Bud Light or a Coors Light sponsor or whatever. And there was a lot of money going around back then.
That's
So, yeah.
cool. So we were talking about that, how back then the record labels had offices in San Antonio because we are the Tejano capital of the world, right?
Right.
So because the music industry, the Tejano music industry, especially with Selena, Emilio, like you said, all the bands, everybody was doing so well, winning Grammys. The business was here and the
Right.
sponsorships were here and that money was here. And so I feel like it makes me sad because I had asked you earlier why it kind of died and it went away and then it came back again and then it kind of it does this thing, the
Right.
Hana music, and now it evolves into a whole different type of genres that I personally love because I'm you know me,
Mhm.
but I wanted to talk to you about that specifically. What do you consider the Hano music now?
I've always considered Tejano music if the band was born in Texas.
Okay, if you were
So
from Texas,
if you're from Texas, I don't care if you're playing a regional sound, a cumbia sound, whatever genre, because there's so many subgenres in, or at least I classify them subgenres of Tejano.
right? Okay.
So I mean, like Eric y Masore, you know.
Todo el mundo
There
tocando
you
para.
go, you know.
Mm. We're gonna do a little
Or
karaoke tonight.
if you want to go the other way, a hot well, the group has really been hot here the last couple of years or year and a half. Grupo Frontera from my neck of the woods, Edinburgh. There's so many bands. There's a group of young ladies from Houston, Las Phoenix.
Oh
Um, they're
yeah.
very talented. They all play. They're very gifted. The vocalist is phenomenal. They got the look, and they don't do your Ram, your Emilio, your David Lee kind of Tejano. They're kind of in between norteño, and then they'll do this, and they'll go back and forth. And I consider them Tejanas. So to me, if you're born in Texas, whether you're from Plainview or, Rio Grande Valley or El Paso or Houston, you're Tejano.
Got it.
Yeah.
That's a really good way to define it because I feel like people define Tejano music by the type of instrument, the type of melody, or whatever. I'm not a
Yeah.
musically inclined person, but
I would I would call those people narrow-minded only because if you go to the valley or an area that is close to the border, their sound is going to be more regional. Hence, Frontera sounds more regional
it
because they're from
does.
a part of Texas where the regional sound is big. So
Yeah. Yeah.
that's all they've ever heard. That's all they probably admire every regional band,
Yes.
every Mexican band that they've ever heard. So those are their idols.
Yeah.
You come this way a little bit more, and then you get the oh, and then if you go to like Corpus and stuff like that, over there, over there you get the conjunto sound, which to me is still part of Tejano, completely different
I'm trying to make
instruments.
the noise. I was
You
like,
know? Yeah. Uh-huh. Or what I
is
call
that conjunto?
the firi firi,
Yeah, the firi firi. There
Firi
you go.
because it sounds like your firi
Air,
firi firi
air.
firi. Air accordion, yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, Tejano is for those people that think that Tejano you have to sound like Little Joe or Ruben Ramos or Emilio or David Lee or Ram or Jay. That's kind of narrow-mindedness.
Okay.
We have
I
to
like that.
if we want the genre to continue, if we want our kids to grow up, because to me Tejano is man kind of like I would say like jazz, maybe even hip hop. It's more than a musical genre. It's part of our culture. It's part of our tradition. It's like the language. It's like Spanish, you know?
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
it exists. It's a beautiful thing, and it should never die. It shouldn't be something that goes and comes,
Right. I mean, I remember, we were kids, and I would take the radio to the fields, and everybody would say, "Súbele!" When they heard a song, and I'd crank it up, and it wasn't even part of our family. But I mean, there was like two radios in the fields, one on that end, and then mine on this end, and that's what we were playing out in the fields.
Wow.
Whatever was cranking out at that time, that's what we were playing. So it was cool.
Voy a buscar
Un
un
rinconcito en el cielo,
rinconcito en
¿no?
el cielo.
And a lot of people,
Don't.
as soon as they think of that song, they think of Ramon Ayala.
Yeah,
Right.
but who originally sang that song? It wasn't him. Was
well,
it him?
Oh
Ramon Ayala is the original singer of that
no,
song.
somebody else sang it
Okay.
before him. But before Ramon Ayala, I heard Ruben Ramos and the Mexican Revolution sing it. You know, they're both great. Great versions.
Got it.
But I mean, I think somebody sang it way before Ramon Ayala, unless I'm not even sure if Cornelio wrote that song or not. And if Cornelio wrote it, then Ramon would have been the first one to sing it.
Let's shout out to Cornelio. Find out. Oh no.
Can we have somebody Google that? No, I'm
Can
kidding.
somebody fun facts in the comments and our fans in the comments?
Yeah.
Jesse Naheda says Selena played at Aldo's nightclub in Bakersfield, California. Started bartending there after the fact, but I remember Aldo's son gushing over her. Shout out to Jesse Naheda. Yeah, so lots of memories. He's just randomly talking about a memory here. But I was also going to tell you for our people to not support groups like Grupo Frontera and all the upcoming artists, Destiny Navaida, Rigo Navaida, all the Navaida boys.
Uh-huh.
If we don't support them and we're over here fighting over, well, that's not Tejano music, of course it's going to cause BS. And this is why we're at where we at, because we can't get nowhere without fighting over stupid shit like that. You
Of
know what I
all the races, of all the cultures, the Hispanic race, the Mexican Americans, whatever you want to call us, I think we have the worst crap mentality that I've ever seen.
Why? Why are we like
I
that?
have no idea. I have no idea.
I think it's generational because our dads grew. I don't know if your dad. My dad was like, "No, hombre, shut up, stupid."
Yeah,
So when you grow up with a dad like that,
Well,
don't you
see-
think you are stupid?
exactly. See, and like my dad, came from Mexico. I'm first generation Mexican American.
Okay.
So we spent a lot of time when I was a baby in Chicago, in Aurora, Illinois.
Picking
And
migrant family. You said?
no, actually, I don't know why, because I mean, I was like one, so
They were like, Chicago,
they
this
really
is
didn't
awesome.
ask me if I wanted to go. They just pretty much packed me in the car and vamoose moose. But so my first language, believe it or not, was English because we used to hang out with with a lot of little white trash people, kids. So English was my first language, but my dad hated Puerto Ricans for whatever reason.
Why? I don't understand that.
Well,
I don't like your shade of brown. My shade of brown is better.
no, I later found out that Puerto Ricans didn't like the Mexicans that live in, and so there was always, the chingazos, and so my dad threw down with a Puerto Rican, and I don't know if he won or lost, and obviously the story that I got was that he won. I would tell my son that I won too, but I mean, but it didn't really matter. But yeah, times change, and I think the more we keep going, the only thing that I say is, okay, if you don't like the Tejano of old, if you don't like the Little Joe, if you don't like the Ruben Ramos, if you don't like the La Mafia, the Fiebre, Excelencia, Inocencia, all those, there's some part of Tejano that you're gonna like, you're gonna enjoy. If it's Frontera, good.
Okay.
Sit down with your kids once a week for 1 hour and say, so what do you want this week? Oh, yeah, I'll get you that iPod or not iPod. Man, I just dated myself there. Whoa. Uh, but I mean, I'll get you
It's
that.
okay. It's not that bad.
I'll get you the Game Boy or whatever the child wants. But you have to sit with me 1 hour every week, and we're going to listen to this
I
music.
love that. That's a great idea. Yeah. I love that.
We have to indoctrinate them. It doesn't mean that they can't love hip hop or country or rock and roll, because all of it is great music.
Right.
I mean,
Absolutely.
every genre has crappy music, but most of it is good music. But this is part of the culture. Along con el idioma del español, that's also part of the culture. And I get it that there's a lot of people in San Antonio that don't speak Spanish. I don't judge. I know.
So I speak Spanglish.
You understand Spanish, though, right?
Sí.
Más o menos.
Entiendo mejor que yo puedo hablar.
Most people do, and that's okay. I don't judge, but I say we have to, keep it going.
Exactly,
Your
like
children
trying.
should learn Spanish,
Yeah.
just
I'm
because.
trying. I'm trying because I don't want it to be like Yo Quiero Taco Bell. I don't want it to be like that. But okay, so I have another question for you.
Okay.
Is there an artist who you shunned away and you were like, nah, I'm not gonna play your record. You suck, and then they blew up to be super famous? Silence.
No.
No? So you
Because-
have been right on with your decision making as far as playing records.
Okay. So, Johnny Ramirez is not quite loved by a bunch of artists.
Okay.
People thought that when I was at KXTN that I was a say-so to everything. That was only like 4.5 years out of my career there. I was there almost 24 years. So for the other 19 years, I had nothing to do with the music. I just played what was,
Was there. Got
yeah.
it. Okay.
I looked at the list. I'm going, okay, give me CD 1. We're playing track 3. Boom. That was it. My job was to focus on the morning show, and most radio people are introverts. I don't know if you realize that.
A little bit, yeah.
Comedians are introverts too, for the most part,
Yeah,
right?
I can be
Yeah.
very. I'm not on all the time.
Yeah, so
Pretty boring sometimes.
I was just let's just do what we're supposed to do, man. Let's have a kick-ass show. Let's come up with some funny bits.
Okay.
I saw this bit. I think it'll work for us. We'll change the names and boom, boom. We rock and roll. For like 4.5 years, they made me the program director. So there are a lot of times where I would have to sit with the band. I'm going, man, I'm sorry, this is not gonna make it. Well, why? I like, well, there's a million reasons. Okay, it could be the fact that you brought it to me. You just copied the CD, you just burned it, and with a Sharpie, you put the name of the song and the name of the artist. That could be it. Because if you're not proud enough of your product to put your picture on it and have it nicely done,
That's a
then
big
what does that
lesson.
say about the product itself?
Dude, take
it-
that lesson to the bank.
You know what? Music is like everything else. It's like this show. You put in the time, you put in the work, and you hope for the best. But you're not going to, just pinch pennies here, here, and here, and hopefully get it done. That's why every other musical genre, I worked at radio stations, you'd get these CDs, you're going, God, this looks pretty as hell. I don't want to play it. The
it was like
artwork.
so pretty.
Right. And it was just, but a lot of when the major labels left, some of the artists got complacent, and they would say, "Hey, yeah, just it's a great song, Johnny." I'm like, "I believe you, man, but let me hear it." And again, many times, even some of the big artists, I would have to say, they'd say, I want this one to play because I want it to be number one. I'm going, we're going to help you with the CD, okay?
I can't make all your hopes and dreams today, but I can play your music.
Yeah, I like. We're not going to make that song number one for you, but we're going to play something on this album. I'm going to look for something, and I'm going to play for something. One of the biggest bands right now that has been for quite some time is Grupo Signo.
Jesse
Jesse Turner.
Turner.
Yeah.
Okay.
He tried and tried and tried and tried to get into San Antonio. And back in the day, KXDN was a big dog. And no, there was nothing that could come in. I was like, no, that's not it. No, no, that's not it. There was a song that he did with Johnny Ariola of Los Palominos. We started to play that one. Then he did the duet with Elida,
Okay.
Juntos Hasta Morir. That song blew up.
It's a beautiful song.
Right. Then he came to town and he says, "Hey, man, I want you to listen to a new song I got there. I think you can use that one." I said, "All right." So he starts playing this song, and I'm listening to the song, and artists do this all the time, and not just our genre, all of them.
Mm-hmm.
But the beginning hook of the song was a Richard Marx song, you know? And I was like, okay. And then he starts singing it. Obviously, he sung, it's his song. He wrote it, he created it. So he gets off stage and he comes back and he says, "What did you think, man?" I said, "The one with the Richard Marx song, that's my song." I'm like, "Whoa, chill,
no.
dude." I said, "That part was from the Richard Marx song." And I tell him about the song. He's going, "Well, yeah, I kind of borrowed it, you know, but then then it
Got him
becomes
out.
my song." And I'm going, "That's
I
all I
get
wanted
it.
to know, dude."
Okay.
I said, "It's a good song." So we started to play it. And then there was another one that I liked and another one. And it just, a lot of program directors, when you're working for a corporate radio station, you have to keep the numbers up because ratings equals revenue, revenue equals ratings. If that cycle is full circle and everybody, if you're hitting on all 8 cylinders, nobody can touch you. You can stay on the air forever.
Right.
But if ratings fall, eventually revenue is going to take a dump.
Yep.
And
And
that's
you're not
it.
gonna
You're
make money.
done.
Yeah.
You know, they'll look for another format. They'll look for, more people, other talent, and you're gone.
They'll cut you out so fast, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's cool. So Jesse Turner from Signal came on the Meat and Cheese Man show last season.
Uh-huh.
And I actually got to see him perform. I had seen him perform live one time at the Hano Explosion, and I was impressed just by the musicians alone. He's an excellent performer.
Yeah.
And he looks like he's 12 years old. Still, to this day, from the time that I saw your YouTube video with him, he looks all cute and little eyes.
He still looks very young.
He's a Benjamin Button kind of vato. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And he's got a son that is a Marine.
Oh my gosh!
He's got a son that's been a Marine, I think, 3 years, if I'm not mistaken. He's got another older
those jeans.
son.
I need to get those Benjamin Button jeans.
No, he's yeah. He's not as long in the tooth as I am, but he's
long in the tooth.
How old are you? Well, you know what? Never mind. I shouldn't even have asked that. But
I'm 25.
Okay, so he's probably I'm going to say late 30s.
Okay.
Yeah, somewhere in their early 40s.
Crazy. Crazy. Well, yeah, so it's awesome to see how an artist was just young and he never stopped trying, kept coming up with new music, and then boom, now he tours the country.
Right.
What kind of music does he play? Because I asked him on the show, and he was like, "Well, I don't want to label myself Tejano, Roqueteño," or he said something like that.
Yeah, Roqueteño. I think they were using that term Roqueteño at that time because their 2 albums, they had a drummer out of Seguin, Joey Jimenez, who's also drummed for the Cumbia Kings, for Metal, for a whole bunch of bands. And the way he drums is special.
Killer, yeah.
Definitely. So every song was a hard driving song, and it kind of sounded like rock, but then it would break into a norteño, tejano sounding song. Turner is very proud of his sound, and he always says, "I can be tejano if you want me to be tejano. I can be norteño. I can be conjunto. I can be whatever you want me to be." And it's true about all our artists. I think our artists are unique in that they can do a country song, turn around and do a rock song, turn around and do a Tejano song. I mean, Emilio, Ram, Jay, all those guys, David Lee,
Yeah.
they'll do a country song, then they'll go back to their Tejano thing, then they'll do a rock song. And our artists are unique in the fact that they're gifted musicians and they can do anything. So I think that that's what separates Tejano from all the other genres.
That they're diverse. They're
Versatile.
versatile.
Yeah.
Mira, it's a big word. Versatile.
Uh,
Versatile.
I stole that from Peter Studio this morning, so there you go.
yeah. Okay, so real quick before we go to a break, I have some spitfire questions for you, and it's just real quick, like
Okay.
60 seconds. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
J-Lo or Selena? Dale.
Oh my God!
Top of the head, go. No, you don't have.
J-Lo because I knew Selena personally. Okay, so
You're gonna pick J-Lo over Selena?
well only because I don't know J-Lo and I mean how far can I go with either one is what I'm saying. You
So
know?
you're saying you do go for J-Lo?
Huh?
You're picking Selena or you're picking J-Lo?
No, I'm picking J-Lo.
Okay, got.
Because I mean, can I be cochino or not? That's
Dale,
why. Well, see,
yes.
then I know Selena, so I would think she's like my sister, so I'm gonna go with J-Lo.
Oh, got it. Because you're thinking of romantical, sexical
If
terms.
you want to call it that, yes. I'm just
Big booty hoe terms. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Corn or flour?
flower, man, all day.
Okay,
Por eso
Netflix,
estoy, mira. Yeah,
Netflix or YouTube?
Netflix.
Country or rock?
For music,
Yes,
it depends who's
because I
playing.
can't say Tejano.
It depends who's playing.
Ay.
Look, if it's George Strait, I'm gonna go see George Strait all day long. Now, if you've got like Guns N' Roses and maybe Motley Crue, and it's like Luke Combs or one of those guys that's new, I'm gonna go this way.
Okay,
I
got
mean,
it.
look, I'm gonna stick with our Texas boys, and George Strait is the king of country, much like David Lee's the godfather of Tejano music, and Little Joe's the king of the brown sound. So,
Got it. Okay, fake or natural?
uh,
Take that however you want.
It depends.
Ah,
It
gee, no.
depends. Again, it depends. The cochino side of me wants to say fake.
True.
Yeah.
All of you guys are like that. Okay, Spurs or the Cowboys?
Oh, come on now, Spurs.
Okay,
I'm not a Cowboy
woo.
fan, okay? I am not a Cowboy fan. Sorry, folks. I don't mean to upset anybody. I mean, I know a lot. I'm a big fan of Troy Aikman, of Emmitt Smith, Bob Lilly, all the old guys.
The 90s.
Roger Staubach, Dandy Don White, or Meredith, excuse me. But not a
Not
Cowboy
today's.
fan. I don't cheer for the Cowboys.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, you guys. Well, we're going to take a very quick break. And I wanted to just tell you guys I did a really cool collab with a local YouTuber out of Boerne, Texas. She's actually from Floresville. Oh, God, don't quote me on that. She's a tech girl, but she lives in Boerne. Carmen Golahar. She is a professional YouTuber, almost at 1 million followers, and also well over 1 million on TikTok. It was an honor to work with her, and I would like to present, and you guys need to go follow her on everything run now, Carmen Golahar. I'd present to you the Tias at the Fiesta Parade.
Hurry, put the chairs down.
Hurry and block those chairs over there. Don't let nobody.
What? The chair broke.
Block this whole area right here. Nobody
Okay.
move. Nobody from the. Block.
Put the
Stay
chair
there.
down
Sit
over
down.
there at the
Hurry.
end. Hurry.
Hey, go get me 2 chicken on a stick, and don't forget one for your tia.
Con un jalapeño.
I know I can't do jalapeno. It gives me heartburn.
Oh, I got it too. The doctor calls it the acid the remix, the acid remix. I got that. Ooh,
Acid remix.
It burns.
Ooh,
I
the-
like what she's wearing.
Who made her dress? I could do better.
I seen the dresses you make.
See?
They're real good.
Mira, look, her chichas are all hanging out. Look, her nalgas too.
Ooh.
Mira.
Uh-uh.
No. Kids these days,
I
they don't
know.
know nothing. No, that one's real pretty.
Oh.
I know him. That's my primo's neighbor's cousin's hairdresser friend.
What?
I
Is
know-
his name Rafael?
Yes.
No. He
doing
did my
it?
hair.
Yeah. I have.
You might have to tap it a little harder because it's the older ones.
All right, you guys, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the Tias at the parade because, Tia Marta's like, save me my chairs. Don't let nobody take my chairs. And go get me a chicken on a stick, mija. What is your favorite fiesta event, by the way?
My favorite fiesta event is right on my front couch. Look, I mean, ever since I came here in '93. By the way, when I first came to San Antonio and they said, "Yeah, it's fiesta," I'm like, "Okay, cool." And then on Friday, when they close the schools, I go, wait. So the city closes, the school closes
It sure
for parades
does.
and fiesta, and they're going, oh damn, I came to the right city because they party hard. Uh, I guess if I had to choose, back in the day, my favorite fiesta event was Tejano Explosion, and I got to do one time La Semana Alegre, but it was at the Freeman
Back in the day.
back in the day, right outside the Freeman Coliseum. They had the stages right in the parking lot there, and that was really cool. But it only happened once, and then something happened, and it was no longer. Oh, an oyster bake.
Oyster bake. Yeah, that's
Oyster
always a
bake
good
is
one.
a fun one, and I'll never forget the time that Naomi G, who was my sidekick,
Whatever happened to her?
she's still around. Her daughter is graduated, married, and
Naomi G.
but
Do y'all remember her? Write Naomi G right now
Naomi
if you
G.
remember her.
Uh-uh.
Oh my God.
But oyster bake, I remember there was a bird that pooped all over, so I'll never forget that.
Wow. Love those stories.
Uh-huh.
A
Aren't
good
you
poop.
glad I shared?
I know. It's
Yeah.
wonderful. So speaking of Semana Alegre, I'm so excited to announce that this is an official fiesta event coming back to
They're
San
back.
Antonio.
Yeah.
And we have 4-pack tickets to give away. So I need you guys to tag their Facebook page right now if you're on Facebook Live. La Semana Alegre. They have a Facebook page. Tag them right now. One lucky winner who is also following them on Instagram and on the Bean and Cheeseman Instagram following is going to win. At the end of this show, one lucky winner is going to be going with 3 of their homies or their primas, or you know what I'm saying, the Sanchas, whatever. They're going to be going to La Semana. And back in the day, we were talking about how it was very rock music oriented, but they've always done a variety of music. So this year, the big band is do you know who the Toadies are? I Googled them and I listened to them and they
Yeah.
sound like rock music. And forgive me for not knowing all the details. Girl in a Coma, San Antonio band, Grupo Metal with Chris Perez. I know you know who they are.
Ozomatli's pretty big too.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
Ozo Motley, Heartless Bastards. And then, of course, they've got a bunch. Sunny Salceda, Jesse Borrego, and Tribu. Tribu? How do you say that?
Tribu. Yeah.
Tribu. Lots of other bands. And then the special performances, Legs Diamond and Joe King Carrasco. Do you know those?
Joe King Carrasco. He used to do the original Semana. Yeah.
Okay.
He's a wild man.
And what kind of music is it?
If I had to categorize it, it's probably like Texas rock.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Wears that crown and stuff. So.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So he's an old favorite of La Semana.
Yes. Back in the day, I had to be under the influence to really get into it.
You were like, hey.
Órale, vato.
Oh, my
Okay.
gosh.
But it was fun times. So Joe King Carrasco is a good entertainer, yeah.
That's awesome. And it's 20 band DJs, food, and it's at Hemisphere. If you guys don't know, in San Antonio, Hemisphere Park is a park right in the middle of downtown San Antonio, and it's been fully renovated. It's beautiful, lots of greenery. Now they're building a hotel and lots of other things down there. So you guys have got to go to this event. It's going to become another fan favorite, and I'm so excited that they let us be a part of it and do a giveaway. And that lucky winner, also really quick plug from the Goods Chamoy, I'm going to go ahead and throw in this keychain because during fiesta, when you're with your michelada and your mangonada or whatever bironga you have, you're going to want this chamoy with you. So I'm going to give this from the Goods, and shout out to the Goods for giving this as a giveaway. We're gonna pick a winner. They're gonna give me the name here shortly. So stay tuned for the end of the show, and we'll see who's the lucky. Are you gonna go to La Semana? Where are you gonna go for fiesta?
I haven't decided yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where if you could pick one, what would it be? Are you a parade person?
Probably, I'm digging the Hemisphere Park now that it's really
renovated,
there's a lot
yeah.
of room.
Yes.
You can get a lot of Mexicans in there, and you won't sweat up a storm.
What about the fighting? What about the chingazos? Are you a chingazos kind of person, or would you rather stay in the peace?
No. I'm not a chingazo type of person. I like walking. I don't want to be shuffled from stage to stage wearing somebody's beer on my back. So I just, I never got that, carrying 30 cups of empty beer cups. I'm like,
I have
okay.
20 beer cups. You only have 10.
Yeah.
That's like a competition, right?
Yeah, it's like, okay, well, here, let me give you my 10. That way the cops will follow you when you go home, and I'll just get home without not worrying about anything.
No shit, right? What did y'all do back then when there was no Uber or Lyft?
We drove home.
Damn.
And we'd have to call, come get me out of jail. I thought I gotta go to work in the morning.
Ama,
Mamá,
estoy aquí. Ayúdame.
mamá, sácame.
Ay, este cabrón.
Yep,
Yeah, yeah,
that was
yeah.
my middle name.
Oh my gosh. Did I
Oh.
just give you flashbacks?
Yeah, just real quick. Huerco, cabrón. I like that.
Ay, pero mijo, were you a mijo? Because we talk about this a lot in our age. The mijo syndrome.
No, I would never, mijo.
So it's like, your son was cheating on me. It's never, why would you do that to her? It's, what did you do to make him mad?
Exactly. Yeah. Yep. I was never a mijo. I'm telling you, cabrón was my
Congratulations.
middle name.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So I have another question. So what was your favorite, like, back in the day? Like, if you could remember the heyday, the Hano Music Awards were big. Everything Tejano was big. Like, what was that 1-2 memories where you're like, remember the Hano Rodeo, or remember when this happened at the Hano Music Awards? I don't know. I'm just making this up. But what
So,
would
I
be-
mean, obviously, Tejano Rodeo was big. The 49-cent long necks and well drinks all night long was really
49
really a piece.
cents?
Yes, yes. Long necks and well drinks all night long. But when the Alamo Dome had first opened, and they actually threw the Tejano Music Awards at the Alamo Dome, and there was so many people there. And Selena won a prize, and they were actually booing her for whatever reason because it took her a while to get up there. And she called him out, you know.
What did she say?
I forget what she
Oh
said,
my
but she
gosh,
called him.
somebody
It
find
wasn't
that.
anything really real bad, but she was like, hey, you know.
Hold your asses.
So, but I guess my favorite all time was when they had El Baile Grande, I think is what it was called. And it was in the Alamo Dome. And it was Selena, Maz, David Lee, Jay Perez, Ram Herrera,
What?
La Sombra.
In one night?
La Mafia. It was actually one afternoon. It started in the afternoon, and I think it wound down by 10 o'clock. But I mean, it was everybody. It was everybody, and that place was packed. I was like, holy moly.
Wow.
I come to the motherland. I'm so glad I'm in San Antonio. Because it really was, to me, an eye-opener. I mean, but to me, that topped it all. El Baile Grande or El Gran Baile. I forget what they called it, but there was so many people there. It was just unbelievable. And the bands. And I mean, one right after another. And Selena had this thing when she que creías, and she'd go grab us. Yeah, she'd go grab a guy out of, the crowd.
Yes.
And she would sing to him, basically chastising him there, pointing the finger at him and everything. She was a great entertainer. It was just fun. But every band just tore it up. It was the best concert that I've ever seen. Second best would be the David Lee reunion in Houston rodeo. So
Damn.
where he had everybody: Ram, Emilio, Oscar G.
That's his name. Is Oscar what's the name that Oscar's the band
Oscar G.
is from? What band?
Grupo Sol.
Okay, is he the
But
guy
Oscar
in the Selena
G's-
movie?
Huh?
The guy in the Selena movie, he goes off the stage. What is pop quiz for my followers here? When she's in the pink costume at a carnival in the movie, the little Selena.
I know which one you're talking about. I can't remember the name of the band that was
I was
there.
trying to remember the name of that Grupo. They say Grupo Fuego, or they say something like that.
Well, if it's Grupo Fuego, back in the day, there was a Grupo Fuego out of Brownsville.
Okay, maybe it
So
was them.
It might have been them, but
Sorry, side note that I got distracted on. I wanted to see if anybody's commented on remembering all these things. Joseph Ramita says he remembers all those back in the day memories of like the bailes.
Yeah.
You know why I want the bailes to come back? So I can meet somebody in person and not swipe online to meet my future Sancho.
So you don't swipe left or swipe right?
No, I can't. I've had some really bad experiences.
Uh-huh.
And I want to meet in person like old school times, because I fall in that age category where I am from the old school and the
Right.
new school. So I had to emerge both.
Right.
And I'm like, no, I like meeting in person and getting to know you, not your fake ass over the internet.
Well, they might have used a picture 10 years old or something
Yes,
like that.
guys catfish women just like we catfish them. They lie. But I would love like a dance, like an old school. Hey, maybe Bean and Cheesemate and you and I can throw a baile. What do you think?
Okay.
Okay. Who do you
Alright.
think you could? I mean, you know all the stars. all
Well,
the
I mean, we'd
singers.
have to First of all, it depends who you want to get. Second of
Okay.
all, okay, what's the budget? Because I can tell you we're going to get them or not. Where do you want to throw it?
Budweiser, Pepsi, what was it? Coca-Cola,
Uh-huh.
and all the old
Southwest Airlines.
Southwest Airlines. 'Cause
Yeah.
remember, they used to sponsor a lot of stuff back in the day. So that's who it is. We're calling them out right now. Tag them, you guys. HEB. HEB,
Yeah.
we need you for the La Gran Baile.
We're HEB positive here, man. Come on, help us out.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. I love that. HEB positive. So yeah, that would be, isn't that a great idea, you guys? Like
Yeah.
one big baile back in the day. And then I'll meet my husband, and then I'll get married, and then I'll go into happily ever after land. Do you believe in happily ever after marriage, and how many times have you been married?
You would ask that question.
I
I'm
would.
on my fourth wife.
I can't even get 4 text messages, much less have somebody get married 4 times. How do you do that?
So the first time it was 50%. The second time it was 25%. The third time it was 12.5%. So I got to keep this one because I can't live on, 6.25%. So,
So you're married now.
uh-huh.
Where's your ring?
Oh, I've never worn a ring.
How rude.
Well, do you think that's
That's
the
going to stop
problem?
any. No,
Yeah.
that's not going to stop anybody.
Yeah.
Okay, so 4 times a charm.
I thought they said third time was a charm. I just,
You just for funsies. For funsies went the 4th because you're on the 4th marriage.
uh-huh.
So
Well,
you're,
one of them didn't. Does one of them count if it was 90 days from the I do's to the, you
yeah,
know?
yeah, it
It
counts.
does? 90 days?
I would say.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
You eloped? I mean, what is it when you get it's an annulment. Is
Annul-
that what it's called?
Yeah, she wanted an annulment, and the judge said no, I think. I don't remember.
She found out with a
We
real
got
yoni.
married in Vegas, so that should tell you everything.
Oh my gosh.
And
that
you know how
sounds
they
like
tell you
fun.
that in Vegas they don't marry you if you're under the influence? Lies. All
All
lies.
lies?
Yes.
Oh my
All
God.
lies.
So Johnny Ramirez married somebody while he was drunk in Vegas. Is that what I'm hearing?
Pretty much, yes.
That's but isn't that like at the end of the day, that's an amazing memory that you can carry with you.
What little I can remember is kind of amazing, yeah. The rest of it is just like a big blur.
So you love. Is that am I correct? Am I accurate in saying that
I
Yoni likes to be in love?
Yeah.
You
I
like J-Lo.
I like the whole PDA. Oh, yeah, J-Lo.
You're like
yeah.
the male version of J-Lo.
Has she been married 4 times?
5. 4 or
5?
5, yeah.
Oh, so Liz Taylor's got her beat out, right?
Liz Taylor still has us all
She's
beat.
7, right?
Yes.
For Liz, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
And I can't even get a text back.
Wait, but you can't even get a text message.
And you guys are out
returned?
here getting married
But
multiple
J-Lo
times.
married one guy twice, right?
No, she was engaged to Ben Affleck, but never married him. And then
Okay.
she finally
So
married
Mark
him.
Anthony was just once, not twice to him?
No, just him. Just one.
okay.
And she had her kids with him.
All
So
right.
how many baby mamas do you have?
Just one.
One. How many children?
2. And they're not children anymore.
How old are your kids?
My daughter she was born in 72, so she's what? She
You
turned
don't know.
51. I think she just turned 51. She'll be 52 this year.
How do you have a 50-year-old? That's what is blowing my mind right now.
Because
I associate you as being so young and like your spirit and your vibe.
I don't know, but I was 18, and it's kind of like, ooh, this is fun. And before you know it, I'm like, okay, well, let's get married. So yeah,
Oh, the
I turned
cheese
70
man.
last year, so.
I can't believe that you're 70.
Mm-hmm.
Your spirit seems like you're still, for me, you're the same guy from the 90s on the radio in the morning. Like, I cannot get that out of my head.
Well, that's because, somebody told me, love what you do and you'll never work a day in your life. And I truly love what I do. I went from doing what I loved a lot, working radio, and when, I got the axe, I went to selling motorcycles. So I'm like, oh, cool. And now I'm back on radio, and, so I love talking to people. I love BSing with people on the phone, and I get to play the best music ever made. So
That's awesome.
that is not really work. So,
I love it.
yeah.
And the other key to your youth is tequila. What is your drink of preference?
My what now?
Your drink of preference? Preference of
It's
drink?
Avion Silver.
What is that?
Tequila.
Oh, tequila.
Mhm.
See, that goes to show I don't
Yeah.
I don't drink much.
The story on that is I love tequila. I don't know if you remember the HBO show The Entourage.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So they introduced that tequila on that show, because now the way they market their product is a whole lot different. The product marketing now, product placement is incredible.
Yeah. Oh
So
yeah.
they bring on Avion Tequila to the show. There you go. And I was sitting downtown at a hotel waiting on my then wife, and uh, I said, "Hey man, what kind of tequila you got?" The guy says, "Avion Silver." I was like, "Whoa, back up! What'd you say?" I said, "That's real." The guy says, "Yeah." I said, "Let me have some." And ever since then, I've been drinking Avion Silver, and that was like 15 years ago.
That's
So,
crazy. See,
yeah.
so product placement does work.
It does work.
There you go.
Yeah. For those of you that want to advertise or place your products on Bean and Cheese Man, what you waiting on? I mean, it really does
What
work.
do you mean product placement doesn't work? Just kidding.
Even if it's a skit, even if it's mm-hmm.
Hold on, let me do it to the camera.
Yeah, got to get that.
Love it. So anyway, quick question. So back to doing, okay, really quick, the producers in the booth. This person cannot win, unfortunately, because he has won like multiple times. So you guys got to pick another winner. Sorry. I'm just trying to make it fair.
You have prize pigs too?
Yes, because
That's
I'm
what
like,
you call them on radio,
oh,
prize
yeah.
pigs.
It's like the people that win every time, and you're like, hey, I love you to death, but you can't win this time, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Got to spread the love.
We had to institute a 30-day rule.
Okay, there you
win
go.
once, you got to win 30. You got to wait 30 days to win again.
That's a good rule.
Yeah.
Very good rule. Okay, so I'm going to shift into our next segment here, and I wanted to talk a little bit about self-love and what you like. We started going into it when you talked about doing what you love. You like to ride motorcycles, but you know how to do a lot of things for yourself, and that has attributed to you staying young at heart. Here comes the other winner. We'll do it at the very end. I'll announce it at the very end. You got to hang on, guys. Let me see if this one will work. Nope, she can't win either. She's another regular. Oh yeah, comment on the Facebook. Comment more. I need more people to tag La Semana Alegre, their Facebook page, because you got to win those tickets. So you guys still have a chance to win. So back to the doing things you love for yourself.
Right.
So I'm coming out of, I don't do anything for myself, and I only work myself into the ground. Have a lot of mental health problems, stress, this and that. And so what do you do to help give Yoni self-love?
First of all, my job has never been stressful. The only thing that was stressful was having to maintain the ratings. Outside of that, I mean, what's stressful, I pick up a CD. Back when we had CDs, I'd slap it in the player, and that was it. We're laughing. Somebody would always cut a joke, or somebody had a one line that would make you laugh. Outside of that, the only stressful times in radio was ratings and when we had to stick around for meetings. I hate meetings. But
you were like, why do I have to be here?
Yeah, I
were
was
you
like,
that guy in the meeting?
Yeah, I would like, so I'd show up and I'd just try and shut up. And when somebody would ask a question, I'm going, don't ask the question, stupid. They're going to give you the answer in a little bit because you're prolonging the agony here. But outside of that, I mean, if I don't enjoy doing something, I pretty much tell whoever I'm with is like, say in my bag. People try to get me forever to play golf, and I'm like, nah, man, I ain't gonna follow some stupid little ball around the golf course. I'm good. So almost everything I've ever done, I enjoy doing. Whether it was working radio, working remotes, you always find talking to people when you're out at a venue for a sponsor. People are funny. People are the funniest part of radio. Sometimes we didn't even need to do a skit or a bit, because they'd call you up with like real stupid, hey, Johnny, hey. I'm like, you realize it's Friday, 5:30 in the morning. I know, but we're having a party. Could you put Grupo Águila? And I'm like, sure, man, we'll get it right on for you. Okay, but you better put it, vato, porque si no, mi ruca's going to call you and she's going to be all pissed off. And like, okay, man. So everything that I've done with radio has always been fun. Even some of the sadder parts, like when we lost Selena, when Emilio passed, even when we were doing benefit, raising money for the Children's Hospital or whatever, we always found some way to have fun, I understand that the message has to be serious and straightforward, but we always messed around
Yeah.
when we weren't on the mic. Kind of like today when Peter Studio was in the studio, you were there.
I know. That was
If
so
I was playing a song,
awesome.
we turned off the mics and we were just BSing,
Yeah.
just having fun. Get back on the mic. Obviously, you have to be a professional announcer
Right.
and you ask the right questions, or hopefully you ask the right questions. But outside of that, we just kind of mess around and have fun. So I've never really stressed myself about anything.
I love that. I love that you were able to take a passion, something you're very good at, and not overthink it and then do your best. And by the way, you guys, if you didn't know this about Johnny, I keep wanting to call you Yoni, now it's forever in my head. He's raised hundreds of thousands of dollars for charity. I don't think people know that. I mean, I knew that kind of,
Yeah.
but if you really think about it, how much, I mean, every year doing multiple charities for all kinds of organizations
Well, I think that
a year.
because it was Christa Santa Rosa, then it was the Children's Hospital of San Antonio. Now it's back. It's gone through some name changes, but in the years that we were at KXTN, I think we raised like $1.75 million for 'em, you
You
know.
see, like
And
it's so awesome.
I like to say we raised it, but it was the people of San Antonio. We were just the clowns on the radio, begging for the money, and they came, they they heard the call and they gave.
So the raza can come together and do something good.
Yeah, yeah.
Would you look at that?
And
You've seen it
you know
happen?
what? It's the ones that have the least are the ones that give the most.
Damn.
So,
Did you hear that?
Yeah, everybody puts a little granito de arena, and all of a sudden we got a beach we're playing in. But I mean, it was good times. I mean, we raised a lot of money for a lot of organizations, but it wasn't really work. It was just still
Yeah,
having
it's
fun.
exactly.
Yeah.
So, and we talked about this a little bit, but I feel like in this day and age, I wish I could go somewhere and be one thing. And you were the on-air talent for a radio station, right?
Right.
The jock there. What do you call it? Radio jock? What would they call him? Dude,
Uh,
I'm aging myself right
yeah.
now. Radio jockey? What
Yeah.
is it called? A record player?
I think it didn't. I mean, people call me so many things, and most of them I can't refute. I mean, I can't repeat. But
Oh, hey.
but I mean, whether it's a morning show host, a air talent, radio personality, a jock, it doesn't matter. It was all. Uh, but I mean, yeah, it didn't matter what you want to call me. But your point was,
You did one thing. You were one title.
yeah,
See, I wanted, like, I feel like nowadays you have to be so many things. They'll pay you for one thing,
right.
but you're 6 different roles.
I hate to blame corporate America, but I'm going to blame corporate America because
Okay.
at the end of the day, the penny counters, those are the guys that want to run the business. And if they can get rid of 3 people and have you do their work, they're going to. And unfortunately, a lot of corporate companies are going that way. They have one person doing 3 jobs. And I don't think it's healthy for the person's attitude, for the morale of the company, of
Yeah.
whoever you're working with. And it's just sad to see that because, at one time, these companies were making a lot of money. And now the only way they can make money seems like is they cut people. And then how can you're not going to be as productive doing one job if you're trying to do 3.
That's right.
So, but that's my personal opinion, and I don't work in corporate America, so what do I know?
No, you're very, very right. It's just a different time. We're effed up in all kinds of ways in America these days.
Uh-huh.
So, but we won't go there. But I did want to mention mental health very briefly because that one of our sponsors is Vanessa Montes. She's a licensed therapist, and BVOY Counseling is the name of her company. But I also wanted to ask you, how do you see mental health now as an older gentleman? Do you take it serious, especially as a Mexicano, somebody who we don't sometimes believe in those things, especially because I'm associating you with my uncles.
Es que le hicieron ojo.
Or like, hey, that's not real. You're making that up. Or you know what I mean? How do you feel about it?
I feel that today, the mental health issues are far more than we have ever seen anywhere. The military people being the number one. So many military people come home and for whatever reason, they take their lives.
Yeah. Yep.
PTSD. It's sad to see that America, one of the most richest, most powerful countries in the world, is going through this. But it also affects I think it's affecting a lot of people for the reason we just mentioned,
That's
because all
right.
of a sudden at work they're handling three duties, and stress can be a big factor. And some people don't handle stress very well. So I think it's a sad situation right now. I know there's a lot of numbers that you can call and get help. Um, if you know of anybody, I one time a long time ago I had somebody call me, and I kept them on the phone as long as I could.
At the radio station?
Right, and
What?
and one of the people that worked in the office, had dealt with that, and so they came in and they got them on another line, because obviously they were on our request line, and but it's sad that nowadays it seems to me it's happening more so than ever, and I'm not a firm believer in social media. I mean, there's good use for it, but then there's a lot of that stuff that adds to the
Necessary
stress.
evil kind of
Yeah.
thing.
I mean, anybody can sit behind a keyboard and
Just
just say all
saying.
kinds of crap and get away with it. So I think that's a big part of it, but so many other things in our society that are creating, mental distress, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
They're people that are just, I don't know.
It's hard. It is a
Yeah,
hard
it is
time
hard.
to be alive right now. And speaking of that, I'm glad that you just acknowledged that it's even an issue, because just saying that is a big deal, because there was a lot of denial. I feel like for our gente, our raza,
Right.
like, como que depression? Go outside and cut the grass. Stop being depressed.
Well, it's the old guys like me. They're going, no, hombre. Like, all of a sudden you see all these, allergies, peanut allergies. I was like, really? Like,
Gluten. I can't have it.
so many things that weren't around when we were young. So obviously, the older you are, the more going, no, hombre, es puro pedo. They,
Yes.
they come up with that. But no, there's more to it than that. I think it's real. A lot of it is real. And I think a lot of it is the stress that we're putting on ourselves because of work or relationships or messed up relationships or just messed up childhoods.
I know. I'm trying not to. I'm trying to not be that stressed person. So I'm on my own journey right now. And so that's why I wanted to talk to, just get your little bit of insight on how you take care of yourself, how you handle things. But yeah, so really quick, just to plug again, BVOY counseling. We are doing a 30-day coaching program, and it's not one-on-one therapy where she talks to me for an hour on the phone. It is literally like homework, and she has a really cool program that I started on my seventh day, and it's daily check-in, and they're little baby assignments. The videos are no more than 3 minutes that she puts in there. This little program, you log into it, you watch the video, and then you do a little bit of a homework assignment. And I really enjoy that part of one-on-one coaching. That's what it's called, coaching therapy. And so if you're interested in doing this, there's links in all of our bios, but also follow BVOY on all the social platforms, or go to bvoycounseling.com. Again, Vanessa Montes, thank you so much for helping me on my journey, and I will keep you guys posted. It's been awesome so far to just the little things, the little nuggets that she's been giving me every day. I think it's been very helpful. And it also keeps you accountable too, because if you sign up, I paid for something, I'm gonna do it, right? So I gotta finish the 30-day program, you guys. I just wanted to do that. But last note, we're gonna wrap it up here, and I'm so
Okay.
sad because I know you and I could talk for freaking forever. There's so much to ask you, but what was your first thought when you saw the two chismosa hood rats playing cholas at Fiesta? Like, I gotta know what your initial thought of that was.
So I had two thoughts. First of all, it was freaking funny. Okay.
Okay, thank
Second
you.
of all, I'm going, these two girls are going to catch all kinds of hell from their family members, from people in the barrio. You shouldn't be doing that, and
¿Qué
they're
están haciendo
they're
esas
basically
locas?
using the same terminology and lingo that you're using. So I mean, because we saw that on the radio station, but I thought it was funny as hell. But again, it's a two-sided sword. It's kind of, you can have fun with it, but sometimes you can go too far, and you don't know you're going too far.
Right.
And then you get this group of people that are just hating on you just because they can. But my initial thought was it's funny, and I'm going, it's funny, but oh, they're going to hear about it from somebody. So, because we're
You know how we
politically
are.
correct now, or we
That's
have to
right.
be.
And I just feel like with our people, our culture here in San Antonio, especially, either they love you or they hate you, or they don't understand you. And I feel like I'm finally breaking some way here with making sketches that are relatable, and it also keeps our culture alive.
Welcome to my world.
And that's why I feel like you and I have so much in common.
See, of all the jocks on KXTN, the Lady Dies, the Dr. Rexes, the Bo Leos, the Kenny G's, those guys had the hate and the love, but in between they had so many people.
Oh, you
And
said Dr. Drex?
Dr. Rex.
Dr. Rex from
Dr. Rex.
KXTN?
Uh-huh. No,
I
you're
mean,
talking
KTF.
Drex from
Who's
KTFM.
Dr. Rex?
Dr. Rex is still working in radio. He's over at Queda doing afternoons.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah. But I mean, but those guys, they had a lot of people that were in between.
Got it. Okay.
I never did. You either loved me or you hated me.
Yeah.
But one of my promotions guy was going, that stupid fool. Wow, he says, he came over here, grabbed the prize, and going, hey, on the pinche Johnny. I hate that dude. I heard him this morning. He told me to be here. I was like, okay, so you hate me, but you still came
But
and
you're
got
for
your
the
prize.
tickets.
Okay, all good, man. No worries.
Typical.
The message got out, and he heard it.
Right. Well, that's the point of being in Chisme. I feel like it was we evolve with our sketches. It's not just to do pendejadas and for the clicks and the likes. It's to tell the stories of our gente through comedy and to be relatable and for us to not forget. Remember those drunk deals you had at Easter when they would hide the eggs and they would do the thing? Like, that's literally why we do what we do.
We all have tios and tias like that. Everybody.
Hey, mija,
And,
go get me a bear.
I'm just, how come Richard Pryor and all those guys, Eddie Murphy, they all get away with it. To some extent, George Lopez and those guys get away with it, but we try and do it, and we're chastised by, somebody in the community. Folks, it's just a joke because it's really who we are. If we can't laugh at ourselves, then what are we doing here?
Yeah, exactly. So before we go,
The winner?
Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to announce the winner. Joseph Ramirez, you are the winner of the family 4-pack to La Semana. So congratulations to Joseph, and make sure to send us a DM and we will get you those tickets right away.
There you go.
Congratulations. But you can find Johnny on 95.7 right now at the Hano station here in town.
It's 95.7, 103.3. If people from out of town, they want to listen, we're on the Odyssey, the iHeart, the TuneIn apps. So a lot of people listen. They stream on the computer. We appreciate everybody. I always say on the radio, I don't really care how you listen because now it's, Alexa, put Tejano. And all of a sudden there's Tejano and Alexa. I'm like, damn, Skippy. So it doesn't matter how you listen. We just appreciate everybody listening every day. And we still try and have fun on the radio, and it's still fun after all these years. So
I'm so glad that you're still on the radio. It's awesome. You guys have to, he's still around. He's still doing good. Look at him, mira, with his Converse tennies y todo.
my Chucks, yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Well, thanks you guys for tuning in. Our next episode is May the 1st, so make sure that you put the subscribe button on all the platforms and set the alarms for May the 1st, please. Johnny, thank you so much for joining me. It was really, you're a legend in our eyes, so thank you for having
I don't
the
like
time to
that
come
legend stuff because most legends are dead. So
All right, you're an icon.
I'm lucky
You're
enough.
a cool guy.
I'm lucky enough to be working in a format that I love. So radio and the format that I love. So I'm just lucky. That's all.
Okay, well, we're lucky to have you here, and don't forget about our baile. Don't forget.
HEB,
Budweiser,
Budweiser, hey, Coors Light, come on. Yeah.
All right, y'all have a fun and safe fiesta. And also, we're going to go ahead and end the show with a combination of all 6 years worth of fiesta music videos that here at Bean and Chisme. It's an honor to produce these for you guys. So we hope you enjoy and viva fiesta. Bye.